I'm here in Lytton, BC, a town that is currently, as in this hour, recording the highest temperature in Canadian history at 49 degrees Celsius. You can see why all this is happening in a video right here, but in the meantime I figured we'd try something fun. I've always wanted to know if you can cook an egg on a sidewalk, so let's try it out. Cracking an egg on a sidewalk might seem like a trendy new innovation, but it's actually been around for a while. You might know July 4th as Independence Day, but it's also National Crack an Egg on the Sidewalk Day in America. And 99% of the time, it doesn't work. To cook an egg all the way through, it needs to be heated to 70 degrees for a few minutes. On your burner, this is no problem. When you place a cold egg on the pan, it naturally chills the surface for a few seconds. But because the heat is still being fed from underneath, the surface heats back up. When you place an egg on a sidewalk, not only are you initially cooling the surface down just by putting it there, but you're also blocking sunlight from heating it back up, which is no bueno. The obvious solution is to find a sidewalk that is so searingly hot it cooks the egg instantaneously, but this is a little easier said than done. In North America, the hottest air temperature typically seen every year is either in Nevada or California, and it tends to be in the range of 45 to 50. Of course, this temperature alone isn't enough to cook an egg. But luckily this is where thermodynamics comes in handy. Concrete surfaces like sidewalks have a higher heat capacity than things like grass,
meaning that it can absorb more heat. How much more? Well, maybe enough to cook an egg. Using the linear relationship established by Soleimani and Kennedy, we can extrapolate that a sidewalk at this latitude may heat up to 70 degrees on a day like today.
That should be enough to cook an egg, so let's see how it's going. About an hour in. Hey, look at that.
Pretty far from fried in my opinion, but the yolk proteins did coagulate, meaning the surface definitely reached 65. So was it possible to cook an egg on a sidewalk? Sorta. You have to be in some of the hottest surface temperatures on Earth, but it's not impossible.
If we wanted to speed this process up, we would do it on a surface like asphalt. Because it's darker, it can retain more heat. I would test this theory out, but unfortunately I dropped my other egg on a sidewalk right next to it. Luckily, I wasn't the only one that had the same idea. So here's what it looks like on a much darker surface. And here is a good boy coming to say hello. Hi. Hey. And no. And if all else fails, it's time for my last trick. We're gonna cook it in a car. Fun fact, on a day like today, the only place hotter than asphalt or a cast iron skillet is in your car. They can reach temperatures up to 95 degrees Celsius on days like this, and it's all thanks to how a car is designed. As sunlight passes through your windows, it gets absorbed by dark surfaces like seats and the dash, and when it tries to radiate back away, it gets trapped by the very same windows that let it through in the first place. The end result is your car becoming an oven, kind of like a mini greenhouse effect. But that is a chat for another video. As always, stay curious. I'll see you next week.